I'm David Mott from Edgewood High School, and this is my prep profile.
David, multiple sport athlete. You've been in 4 sports.
I have.
Now, a couple more were the same season, football and cross country. How did you start with football, and then why the switch to cross country? How'd that work out?
Well, growing up with 2 older brothers who both played football, I always played football a lot, and that was one of my favorite sports. It might have even been my favorite sport, that and basketball, going into high school. But then, I don't know, a lot of my friends did other sports like running, and I just was a little small for football, so I decided to make the change after sophomore year.
And you made the switch over, and then junior year you get to go to state.
Yep, first year, that was exciting.
And you and Joe McKenna as individuals, how tough is it to compete as an individual with all those teams and just the sea of humanity, I guess?
It's definitely an experience to remember. It's really interesting, especially at the start when everyone's together. There's a lot of people at the state meet, and it's exciting.
How did all the sports between football, cross country, then basketball and track, how do they all, I guess, either blend together or how are they compatible for you?
Well, obviously cross country and track, it's a lot of the same training and a lot of the same atmosphere, just practice every day, working hard and how much you can push yourself. And then basketball, it's a little different. It's a little bit more of a team sport. But during the basketball season, I kept up my running, kept up my training for track and cross country. So they're different, but at the same time, they work together.
How tough is it to be a multiple sport athlete and balance that with school?
It's definitely a lot, but I'm used to it because I've played a lot of sports my whole life. And my parents just always told me academics comes first. So just remember that and find a way to fit everything in.
Now you list your 2 older brothers as your role models. Did they help you that way? You get to see how they went through and juggled it, or do they have any advice for you?
Yeah, definitely. A lot of the way I lead my life, if I look at it, it's very similar to my brothers. So I think I just kind of, without even noticed it, picked up a lot of their habits. So they did all the tough stuff, I just copied them.
Yeah, your dad is part of 3 boys, and you're part of 3 boys in the family. Any similarities or with your uncles, or did they ever talk about when they were growing up with 3 guys in the household?
From the stories I've heard, they sound like they were a little more crazy and had a little more fun than us, but definitely a lot of similarities in the households, and both great atmospheres.
You have a most memorable athlete or somebody you've competed with. Who would that be?
Not really sure. I'm
kind of an inspiration for you.
For track and cross country, probably Joe McKenna, just my teammate, because he's the one who got me into running and convinced me to start track and then cross country. And just, he shows how hard work can really pay off for you, just pushing yourself every day in practice.
Now you 4.15 grade point average, very well in school, and you were able to pursue some scholarships. I guess the National Merit Scholarship. That process. How did that work, and how did you end up?
Well, that's actually kind of separate from my GPA and work at Edgewood High School. That's from the PSAT that I took as a sophomore, I think. It might have been a junior, and I did well on that test. So just worked through the process, becoming I think it was recognized student and then semifinalist and then finalist. So that was exciting to find out that I got that.
And then are you going to Wisconsin? Born to be a Badger?
Yeah, definitely. The last year it's actually the first time I've really considered going anywhere besides Madison just because of opportunities that I was offered, but I couldn't pass up my dream to be a Badger.
And how far that goes back? Pretty far in the family, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. My grandpa went there, and I think my grandpa and grandma on both sides actually. My parents went there, all of their siblings, and now both my brothers go there, so definitely a family tradition.
So you couldn't be a Gopher or a Hawkeye, could you?
No
not in the family. For you, what's been the best part about being a multiple sport athlete and a student at Edgewood? What are you going to remember most about your experience here?
I guess just that it's been a lot of fun, just going to practice every day, hanging out with my friends. A lot of memories that I won't forget, and friends that I've made that hopefully I'll keep in touch with.
Teams have had some success, but is it the relationships you think that will stand out, you'll remember the most on the future?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like those are what have affected me the most.
So your favorite place to visit? San Juan. When were you to San Juan, and what do you like about that?
Well, the first time I went to Puerto Rico was, I was pretty young, and I've been back there 3 or 4 times, and I just like the city as a whole. I like the old parts, and there's a big cathedral and a lot of forts and stuff, and that's cool. And then right outside of San Juan, there's a big rainforest that I like to hike in, so that's fun.
And I said you want to visit Australia?
Yeah, I think that would be really cool. A lot of cool animals.
No, I said you've been to 10 foreign countries. Where else? Any other highlights besides Puerto Rico?
A lot of islands in the Caribbean and other places in Central America, but I've actually never left the Western Hemisphere, so nothing too exciting.
So you're looking forward to venturing elsewhere?
I am.
And then you're planning to major in biomedical engineering, and then possibly run in college?
Yep, that's a goal of mine, to be able to make the track team. But if that doesn't work out, I'll join the triathlon team and go from there.
Can you see yourself doing that down the road? Maybe in Hawaii or something like that?
Yeah, hopefully. Ultimate goal down the road.
Ironman?
Ironman in Hawaii.
Okay. How anybody inspire you to that, or what?
My brother picked up triathlons a couple years ago, and he just really likes it, and gives him the opportunity to stay in competition and training and sports in general.
Which brother?
Jim.
And was he your coach too? I know he's a basketball coach. Did he ever coach you in high school?
Yeah, he was an assistant coach on my freshman and JV teams, I think. Maybe just freshman, for basketball. And that was definitely an interesting experience, having him as a coach.
I say you have fathers coaching sons and mothers and daughters and whatever, but to have a brother, it's a little unique relationship.
Yeah, it was fun.
And I guess when you look at down the stretch here, well, I guess first of all, 200 hours of community service at Edgewood. That's a pretty big part. Is there anything that you're going to remember that you volunteered for that really made an impact on you that you think you'll pursue down the road?
Probably the most fun and impactful service I did was helping out at the Edgewood youth basketball camps, just because it was really fun hanging out with the little kids every day and getting to coach them and teach them how to play basketball. And they have so much fun, you can really see how much your service impacts them.
Now you want to be either an engineer or a doctor. Can you see yourself just coaching someday?
Yeah, I'm definitely probably going to coach my kids in their youth sports. I'm not sure though. Sometimes it might just be better to watch them, but maybe be a coach.
All right. Well, good luck getting to state and track this spring. Congrats on a great career.
Thank you.